your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh my gosh, we're back.
We are back, Sarah.
Oh, it only took us a couple of tries here to go live, but we are live a couple minutes after the hour. It's cool.
We're live. Has it been over a month? I think it's been over a month.
For me, it's been
our
over
last
a month.
show.
I was just telling my mom, I'm like, it's been like 5 weeks. What?
Life goes quick.
Life does go quick. It was utter, in my end, at least I can speak for that, utter insanity.
Yeah. Why don't you tell viewers what you did? I mean, you did so much. You're all 30 minutes and you gave everything.
Oh my gosh. How much time you guys got? One of the main reasons why I couldn't do the show for a while is I was traveling in Asia. And as many of you might know, just even by looking at the map, that's a 14-hour time difference from Los Angeles, 11-hour time difference from the East Coast. And also when I'm on a work trip and far, far away like that, we are working from 7 a.m. until like 10 p.m. at night. So it is, those are tough days. So it's very hard for me to like join a live just because I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't know how the Wi-Fi is going to be. I was in countries where I'm like, I might not be able to like receive a phone call. So it was wild. But it is good to be back. I was working with the Mekong River region. I will be sharing videos soon. They are in the approval process now. But I ended up in Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, where I know you've been, China, in Kunming, and Myanmar, which I know is a level 4 do not travel right now, but we're living on the wild side of things. And then ultimately Bangkok. Before came home, dropped my suitcases, and had to quickly get over that jet lag. And can I tell you, 14-hour time difference, you don't get over that jet lag in one day.
I was like go for a workout and a cold plunge in your back.
Oh, no. Oh, that would have been great. No, it was like 1 PM, and it basically felt like it was like 4 or 5 in the morning. And you know where you feel like nauseous, like because you're up in the middle of the night. I was like feeling nauseous, trying to stay awake after 5 p.m. And what did I have to do? I had 6 days to rally for my TED Talk. I did a TED Talk.
TED Talk. Congratulations, Sarah.
I love how we're dropping out there. The first TED Talk, because I will do another.
For sure. This is going to hit. You're going to be so famous that you may not have time to do this soon.
All right. Let's calm down. It's all right. But yeah, such a cool experience. So that is where I've been over the past 5 weeks. On LinkedIn, I probably seemed quiet. You guys were probably like, what's she doing? She doesn't care. Oh no. But if you were following on my Instagram, you would have been like, oh my gosh, Carmen Sandiego. She's been everywhere.
I like that you were in Cambodia. Over here, if I can get it right here, this little thing is Angkor Wat right here that I got from when I was there.
God, that's beautiful. I think that may be my new favorite like place in the world.
It's so cool. I felt like Tomb Raider in there.
So cool.
And Christopher was following along.
Yeah. Oh, good. I still have more to come, Christopher, just in case you didn't get enough Asia content. Oh my gosh.
Bangkok was too much for me when I went there. It was like overwhelming. I was like, get me out of this city. I can't be in here.
Oh, see, at that point, Bangkok was welcomed because it was far more Western compared to some of the places that we had been just leading up to it. For us, truthfully, Hanoi was a bit overstimulating. Obviously, they're known for their scooters and just like, I mean, you try to cross the intersection and it's like Frogger, like real life Frogger. But the trouble that we had with Hanoi, and it might have been just the timing, there was a typhoon like the week before, basically a hurricane, but over there. And like the streets had been flooded. And so there was this stench to the city that, I mean, I've never been there before, so I don't know if it was normal, but after the third night, it rained a lot. And then the next day I went out on the streets and was normal. It smelled like it didn't smell. But for the first 3 days we were there, there was a weird
Sewage
smell. Yeah, it smelled like rancid beef, and I was having a hard time with that because I don't eat beef. So if you want to be real specific. But it was incredible. So Bangkok though was definitely overstimulating, but we just like made our way through the city.
I like Thailand though. So you had a great trip. You got to do a TED Talk, and now you're back here.
Now
I
back.
was busy as well. One, we dodged a hurricane. Very lucky. I feel very bad for my friends on the West Coast. They lost a lot of things over there. Over in Sarasota. Tampa got very lucky, but that was a little bit scary. And hopefully we're done with those because it is hard in all the hospitality businesses out there when those come through, especially in North Carolina. Man, Asheville got destroyed with the other hurricane, Helene, that came through.
Wild. Because Asheville, by the way, like, sending out, our condolences to anybody that's like has gone through it. I mean, I wouldn't expect you to be watching this live, by the way, because you got other things to focus on. But it's been crazy seeing, and Asheville's like inland quite a bit.
In the mountains. Yeah, that's like where I would go to get away from a hurricane. It just shows you nowhere is safe now. But let's see what else we got going on. Vacation rental business is growing and growing. We continue to do things. We have our brand new website coming out next week, which I'll share with everybody. Ooh. I have the Hospitality Mentor Awards. So from my 50 hotel and 50-day journey, I'm going to be at the World Travel Expo, and they have asked me to host the Hospitality Mentor Awards and give out 12 awards for all different categories of the hotels that I've been at.
Selecting the recipients of these awards, was that challenging for you?
That was really hard, and I felt bad because like there's some good friends and general managers that I could have been like, oh, I'm gonna hook them up, right? But I got to go with what I would recommend. And so they're nominees. We were nominated almost every hotel out of the 50, but not every one got a nomination, and all different winners. There's no double winners. So.
That's wild. I have to say, when you are in a position that you have to end up like choosing somebody, like giving somebody an award or whatever, it's very difficult. It's like,
especially because the titles are best lobby, best hotel bar, best pool cabana, best kids program, right? Like, so people are going to win some stuff, and we'll see where this goes.
When you were like, okay, best lobby, you're like, oh, I know, or you're like, ooh, toss up between like 2 or 3 in your head, and then you had to kind of like sit there and
toss up, and I was like, all right, if I sat in this one, this is what I'm looking for, right? Like this is the one. Or at the bar. Like, it didn't have to be like the fanciest bar because I nominated one that's like a hole in the wall. But
but then you're like, dude, they have the best bartender or whatever.
Right? That's what it is, the best bartenders. That's how I chose it. So this one, they'll know.
It comes down to the human element of hospitality.
The human element
of my script.
Your TED Talk. Look at that speech. We got to get it autographed and framed, and we can raffle it to somebody.
Here, it's like I got like it's all beaten up.
And then I got nominated. I don't know how it happened, but I got nominated for South Florida Hospitality Professional of the Year. So
wait,
pretty
First
cool.
Of all, congratulations. And secondly, you don't know how you got nominated. You got nominated because of all the good work that you do.
There you go. We take it, Sarah. So we've had a big month here, the both of us.
We have.
I love it. I love what we're up to here. And I missed our chats every week. And for all of you joining us, I miss you all chiming in and letting us know these things. So Christopher, thanks for being here. And all of you over here watching, we see all of you. Don't be afraid to comment. We're here. We're happy to chat with you.
I know. Oh my gosh. It's getting like back into the swing of things, but very exciting.
Very exciting. So should we get back into the swing of things? We have some topics to cover.
Yes.
And it's not what the titles are here. That will be next week's. So sorry about that. But don't worry. We'll talk about haunted stays, trends, and a robot massage. I actually got a robot massage.
Oh, you got one?
Oh yeah. I'm all about it.
My friends got one too. I have not had one yet. But we're going to talk about that next week. Okay, guys, we're just going to plant the seed there. So, well, the first thing is, and I kind of love this topic, is like, when did a $200 hotel room start feeling like a bargain? We've talked about this many, many weeks ago, actually probably at the beginning of the year, where it's like the rise of the $1,000 a night room.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know, like, I had to pay for my own stay in Iowa. Just say that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm literally paying over $200 a night to stay in Iowa.
What's the capital of the world?
In Davenport for my TEDx. And like, yeah, I mean, case in point, like it's across the board in most destinations. I mean, the price hotel rooms cost more. It's challenging to find rooms that are less than that.
Yeah, and it's only going to go up. And
Yeah.
what's weird, I'll say weird, it's hard. And so I think that might be a challenge too, is like going to see if you can find a good hotel at under $200, at $100 or $150. But that's where I think vacation rentals are starting to win again. Like our vacation rental company, we're in that 200, 250 range, but it could fit 3 bedrooms. You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can start it up, and it's a little bit of a savings. But the $200 room, look, I guess things are expensive. Labor's price is going up. The supplies of everything is going up. And
Totally.
I don't think it's going away anytime soon.
Oh, no. I mean, it's like no, it's not going away. It was interesting because we were looking at some of the prices of the hotel while we were in Asia, and like the quality of the hotels that you would get for like $100 a night. It was just
Good or bad?
incredible. No, great. And it was this reminder. And then like you come back here and you're like, okay, we're spending $230 a night, $250 a night. And then it's like, oh, there's no soap in our hotel. We will come back to that later. They were out of hand soap and they said we should use body wash. Anyway,
well, see, I went to a hotel, and this is not, it's $200, but it probably should be. And it's someone that they paid for it, but it was $800 a night. And I got there and I was like, what is happening here? It's a tiny room staring at a garage.
Wow.
And this is what's continuing on. So it says hotels in Boston and Miami are charging an average nightly rate of $227 thus far this year. I don't know which hotel that is in Miami, because I'd like to see which one it is. And rates in San Diego averaging $217, according to CoStar. And hoteliers in New York are asking the most at $276 per room.
Yep. That's crazy.
I don't know which hotel rooms those are. Like, there must be something swinging them. Because I was looking at hotels in New York. I haven't seen any at that rate.
Oh, you're talking about that? That's like super low.
Yeah, I feel like that's even lower. Yeah, I feel like the rate's probably higher.
I mean, it depends. Like, I just was booking clients in New York, and I was looking for. I mean, it was wild. It was kind of to the point where I was like, wait, what's going on right now? Because all like the like 5-star hotels, because these clients stay in 5-star hotels, all of them were booked. And so it was nuts. I mean, I combed through like 12 different hotels to find an appropriate option. So, and I can tell you, it was not $200 a night. I ended up booking 2 different rooms. One was $1,200 a night for a regular room. And then the other one was like, I think like $16 a night. And it was a slightly elevated version of a regular room. That's wild.
That's why I say those are the cheap rooms, right? That's the $200 is now what people are pushing us. Oh, that's cheap. Where before it was like, oh, 80, 90, 100, 150.
Totally. But if you go in an off-peak time, obviously you can find that. I normally go to New York in January because there's a series of conferences I end up going to, and I always have meetings in that same weekend. And I was able, this last January, I was able to find stays. I stayed at the Moxie in Times Square. And I think I only paid like $125 a night.
All right. So there you go. Good deal in the part of New York. I think that's where it is. And, like there's deals to be had. And I would say there is a value to some of these luxury hotels too. Talking about big names. Like my wife had a big event. We stayed at the Four Seasons there because that's where the event was in Miami. I was like, oh man, it's expensive. This is $500 a night. I was like, all right, we'll make this a staycation. But 500 is good for that hotel because the hurricane was coming through. So people left and the rates dropped.
Very good for that.
Usually
hotel.
It's about, 1,000. But anyhow, for that 500, I got Equinox Pass. That's $100 for a day pass. They had all the free amenities around, all the things in the room that you can use. And I was like, start looking around. I was like, all right, you see the value of the things that they provide you as you're going around.
It's just wild when you think about like what the average rent or like mortgage somebody pays, and then like how much like a hotel room could be either half of that or that, depending on where the person lives. Like that's just wild. But here we are. That's like we are living in this new era. Things are just more expensive, and it's only going to
Everything.
stay
Yeah.
that way.
Dining out. Like I used to dine out a lot more. No, it's just
Oh yeah, yeah.
wild.
I was out at dinner last night, and we were two people, and it was probably close
300,
to
250,
yeah,
300.
50, yeah, 300,
I know.
350.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
You
And I
know,
don't go to fancy places. We've talked about this and we could vent about this. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks when there's a new president. We'll see what starts happening.
oh my gosh, yeah.
No. We won't get involved in that.
No, we definitely won't get involved in that. Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, always, regardless, like politics aside, but always on an election year, like everything's just a little bit like, until people are like, where are we going now?
Tension going around. I think that's
Very
what's
true.
going on.
So going on to our next topic here, which I thought was really interesting. First of all, our good friends at Marriott, they did a thing where they unveiled 10 future foodie trends in a new culinary report. Yeah, I was like, we should talk about something fun. Like, and I thought this was really cool. So they did the Future of Food 2025, and it was released by the luxury group by Marriott International. And there were a couple of interesting trends in this. Do you want me to kind of like start kind of going through some of these, and then you can?
Why don't we give them like the titles and then we can come back to them? So let's give there's 5 titles that they think are the trends coming through.
Well, these are the 5 main ones, but they also have like other. They actually have other. There's 10 total. So Asian wave. So it's like more Asian. Yeah, I was. Great food. By the way, side note, I came home and ordered pad thai the very first night.
Shrimp pad thai or chicken pad thai?
No, veggie pad thai. But I totally had pad thai. Oh, and then when I was in Iowa, I ate Thai food there too. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. And I said like a couple words in Thai to her. She was like, oh my gosh, it was awesome. Sustainability and ancient techniques is another trend. Fine dining. So they're sort of like hyper local and super fine. I love this one. Food as medicine. Now there's also kind of like emerging culinary destinations. So kind of like
went to some of these, didn't you?
I did go to some of these, which we'll go into. And then kind of the 5 other trends are focusing on sustainability and regenerative farming practices. Yeah. We see that a lot with the One Hotels, new beverage options. We've talked a lot about non-alcoholic, no-touch technology and AI implementation to order, and then multi-sensory experiences and environmentally friendly dining venues. So, wow. So what kind of stood out to you?
I liked seeing the ancient techniques. I think that's cool. Like to see like how it used to be made way back in the day. Can I tell you something I did? And it started while the hurricane was going on. I started getting obsessed with, doing my own bread. I made my own bread. I made 2 different loaves of bread.
Dude, it's not 2020 anymore. What are you doing?
I had a week of, not a week, I had 2 days. And I'm like, I'm going to start being able to do things myself. And I'm going to start with bread. And then I was like, you know what? I started getting into like, I'm going to look at these homesteading on the farms and seeing like how they do it with the eggs the bees and like, getting their own honey and all that. So I was like, all right, I'm going to learn some more of this. So that's my goal for the rest of this year and the beginning of next year. So got a bread maker now because I was doing it by hand. Now I can plop it in and have fresh bread and the kids can choose whatever kind of bread they want. Done.
I mean, look, it's awesome. All of that stuff is fun when you kind of get into that, but it's this, when we're talking about ancient techniques, by the way, it's the return to labor intensive techniques. So
making bread.
Making bread. Yeah. Next thing you know, you're going to be churning butter.
Bread butter, anyone? We have it for sale.
Oh my gosh, your dance moves! I just saw. You're like, hey.
No, I was churning the butter. Churning it up.
Oh my gosh. It's interesting. I really like the food as medicine.
Yeah, what do you like about that?
Well, I mean, for those that probably know me well, they probably know. I mean, I'm pretty like health conscious, like as far and like mindful. I'm very mindful as far as what I eat. Yep. Obviously, when you're traveling, sometimes like you're going to be trying local things. And I was actually vegetarian for over the past 12 years. Only in the past four months have I really committed to like eating seafood again. So not to say that that is the way that everybody should be living or this or that, but I've just always been fascinated with like just food and medicine. I've been dabbling recently with a lot of different mushrooms, like not funny type of mushrooms, but adaptogens and stuff. And so it's what, and like I have blue-green algae stuff I'm going to take right after this downstairs. I'm like on a whole thing. But it's amazing.
I love it. I love that kind of stuff. And I have like coffee. People are going to be, I think, shocked. So I have Biscayne coffee every morning, but in that coffee goes a scoop of collagen and a teaspoon of olive oil. And I mix that up, and that's my coffee. And I love it. I feel great.
It makes such a,
no wrinkles.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I will take what he is having. But yeah, I mean, I think it's great that it's just making people be a bit more mindful as far as like what they're eating. And it's not just like, oh yeah, fruit because it's good for you, but it's like understanding like the importance of berries and antioxidants and more things. Like,
I think a good place to start is tea. Tea is a good place to kind of start exploring. If you want to like test some things out, there's some high quality tea companies out there that do it really well, and fun to see those out there.
Well said. So it's cool. It's cool to see what's happening in the world of you know.
The other one I'm curious because they talked about technology, and so I have mixed. You know, I'm all about using technology. You've known me a while now, so I'm all about it.
He just schooled me before we went live on using AI
stuff. But I find that it brings a coldness now in food and beverage, right? So like I thought I liked it. And then I went on the cruise with the Maker Shaker robots on Royal Caribbean, the robot that makes your drinks. And I was like, this is
what can you be? Can you tell the robot like, hey, I'd like a little bit more lemon in my drink?
I think what will be good is back of house. Right. So for me, like all like my stewarding team, I don't want to replace anyone. So don't start sending me messages. Is if I can have machinery that can help me tell me how many plates did we clean today? How many were broken today? What's our inventory live currently? That's the kind of stuff that I think will be very helpful back of house. What's my current inventory of all the different food products? How much liquor do I still have left? Because I have smart pouring tops. Those things I think are very cool that are coming out.
That's great. And I will say this, after being in 6 different countries, technically like 10 over the span of a month. And in a lot of those countries, in all of those countries, English not being the main language. And in one of them in particular, where nobody spoke any English, and having to communicate. I mean, I'm just saying is like the human aspect is what got us through. You know, even I was trying to use Google Translate.
Oh, yeah. It didn't work?
No, and it wasn't working. I was trying to get something where like vegetables only, like, because you don't say vegetarian, but you're like vegetable, anything. Some that stuff wasn't necessarily always translating, but like as much as I was like, oh, maybe it would just be easier if we were ordering from an iPad. I was so grateful for the humans on the other side to be able to like talk us through it. So definitely not missing out on that. That's for sure.
That's true. But a lot of cool things. I'm excited to see if these actually come to fruition because I know they always kind of mention what they're going to focus on. But I think those are the cool ones. I like the food as medicine, ancient techniques, I think is unique, right? People want something unique. I think that's the
I just saw on, I think like Instagram, a reel that there's a restaurant in New York where it's like, I think it's called like Nanas of the World. And they actually have, right?
I was going to go and it's the grandmas.
Yeah. I have all the grandmas come in and they're making dinner. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Super cute. Like I have to go the next time I'm in New York. That looks so awesome. How fun. You know?
That's great. And they're using all their old world techniques. And some of these grandmas, they're like 90 years old, 85 years old, and they're in the kitchen making their recipes for everybody. Yeah. So there is not a menu you get to choose from. That's what they're cooking is what they get served. So it's cool.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. All right, let's talk about some travel stuff.
Let's do it.
Okay, this is kind of neat. Abu Dhabi is going to be home to the world's second sphere. You haven't been to the sphere yet, right? Because you haven't been.
A lot of people have been. Have you?
I haven't either. No, I haven't.
I heard it's amazing though.
I know. Hey mom, check out what's happening at the Sphere. My mom is in town, by the way, and we are heading to Vegas actually in a couple days to kind of check some things out. Not
Ooh.
the usual Vegas thing. So no,
Mhm.
it's not the
So
Dandelion girls like gone wild.
at the strip clubs, no?
No, no.
And gambling away the money on the slot machines.
Woo! Smoke it away.
Fucking cigarettes.
Oh my god. No, but the Sphere, I mean, for anybody that's been, like if you've been, let us know. I mean, everything I've seen looks phenomenal. Like so cool. So I love that they're bringing it over into the Middle East and into Abu Dhabi. I mean, as we've seen, like with Abu Dhabi, with Dubai, etc. I mean, they're really doing a lot of advanced things for tourism and culture, and I love seeing it.
Yeah, it's a bill. I know there was what was it, like $1 billion to build the Sphere or something more.
Ridiculous like that. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's doing great. You know, I saw the rates for advertising on the outside of the Sphere, so they make their money back every second of every day, plus all the concerts, and UFC just did their first big fight in there, and U2 opened. So many cool things going on.
Yeah. So the Sphere, it has 20,000 seats.
Yeah, it's like an arena.
I mean, it really is an arena. So that's kind of cool.
Very cool.
I know that they're going to have amazing concerts in Abu Dhabi once that happens. So I think there's no official opening date yet, but
it's like 2030 or something. They're putting it in there.
Oh,
it's just part of their strategy 2030, but who knows? Probably before.
Yeah, maybe. So this is another topic here.
Well, you could fly on this airline over there. So where are you going to be taken?
Almost. Maybe you can. I wonder actually where they go totally in the Middle East. But Delta Airlines. Hello. Sorry. We're good. Delta Airlines is unveiling that they have, they're going to be doing a new cabin interior design, which is great. And why I like this is not just because I fly Delta. I pay for all of my Delta tickets, but I feel like whenever we see a main company like this, like do something to level up, the others are going to follow suit. And so, but yeah, so they're going to be just kind of like redesigning. There were some cool shots that they have of it. I know we don't have them on here, but I mean, they're updating the lavatories. So I love this. Their azure blue is like their color, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, the seats, like it was very nice. So it's a blue seat, very luxurious looking, and it has some hidden little touches of red line across the middle of the chair.
Yeah.
It looks very nice for a standard aircraft. We're not getting on the private jets yet, either of us, but I think for Delta, very nice.
Oh, and then for those Delta fans, they just opened its second Delta One lounge, actually here at LAX. I saw everybody was there. I did not get that invite. Not bitter about it. I was probably not available. But it's cool. I mean, this lounge is really nice. What they're doing with some of these higher end lounges, for those that might not be aware, is it's not necessarily buffet style. Like you're ordering from a menu, which is a very different experience. Have you ever been in a lounge where you like order from a menu?
No, but I can assume it saves them money for sure. Because I was just talking about this with someone. Yeah, because buffet, if you don't have controls on it, and you also have a lot of waste potentially, it costs a lot of money. But if you have to order, it sets up that friction a little bit to where you have to order, but it could be a little bit nicer.
It's a lot nicer. Mm-hmm. It's a lot nicer. I did a tour of, I can't remember if it was the Air France lounge. I think it was Quant. No, I don't remember. But ordering from the menu was wild. It was amazing. It was such a cool experience, and what a wonderful way for those that are like maybe not wanting to eat on the plane, that they can go there first and like have that experience before getting on the plane. So very cool. Cool.
I hope it continues. I was thinking like, if the airports were nicer, you didn't need these lounges. But I know it's a whole business now to have these lounges and to get on those credit cards and to spend a certain amount of money to get into the lounge, right? Is that how it works for the Delta one?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's definitely different ways. Or like I get in the Delta lounge because of my credit card.
American Express now it's $75,000 you got to spend, right? And they tell you like you're this far away, or hey, you qualified.
I think so. I have the platinum, and it doesn't. I don't think I have a spend for that.
Yeah,
Oh.
now there's a spend. If you don't want to pay to get in, you can get in and pay $50 with your
Yeah,
platinum, or you get the
Or
75 and it's
basically.
free.
Yeah, going into the new year, it's definitely going to be different for sure. They're just really trying to thin the herd because it's crazy how busy those lounges are. But honestly, there are so many great options in the actual restaurant. What to me is, if you think about it, because sometimes like I'll travel with friends and I can bring in a plus one, and maybe I pay $50 for that, and I'm always like, do you think, like, I'm like, I don't mind at all. For me, it's free, so it doesn't matter, or it's part of my whole lifestyle. But if you're paying $50, will you eat or drink $50 worth of whatever they have in there? Because if you will, then it's definitely worth it. Access
Right.
to cleaning bathrooms. It's just a little bit more of a chill experience. But
Yeah,
if you
pay for the
don't,
chill. I don't think I've ever eaten my way or drank my way through $50 worth. So I think that's the benefit for them too, right? Like you pay $50, they're going to make some profit off it.
although you say that, food is super expensive in the airport. Like you could order like a grilled chicken Caesar salad somewhere, and that's probably $20.
$18, yeah.
So by the time, even
That is
$50,
true. Airport food.
it's
And a glass
expensive
of wine. Yeah, you're there. I guess it's true.
if
Or
you're
an-
ordering stuff. So, actually, before my trip to Asia, I actually went to a place and I ordered. Don't ask me why I did this, but I ordered sushi, and it was like I ordered 2 different rolls, and like I got a big thing of water, and I think my bill was like $43. I was like, oh, okay, so
Yeah, you're right there. You get your value out of it. Let's say I don't
Totally,
mind
totally.
paying for it. I'd rather sit in there than in downstairs for hours waiting for the flight to
for
come
sure,
through.
depending on how much time you have.
I think we got to
And
skip this next one. We got to skip to our real-time recap. We're at
Let's go.
32 minutes here. So you've been around the world. Why don't you go first? What was your real-time recap?
I'll just say kind of 2. One is just like the incredible hospitality that I saw in general while I was traveling throughout Asia was amazing. And it was almost this reminder as far as like how great it feels. Like you can be in a place where it's like culturally things are so different, and it's the human experience that makes you feel comfortable, that makes you feel at home, even when everything else around you is it is very different than home. And so it was wonderful to see it alive and thriving. And I didn't necessarily always stay at like the fanciest hotels. In fact, it wasn't about the hotels. Some were very nice. Some were very, pretty basic. But again, it was so wonderful to be kind of like welcomed. And then everybody took almost ownership of like their country. Like, oh, we want, like, we hope that you have a wonderful time in our country. And they just like work at the hotel. And it's a very different and a very broad way of like taking that ownership that I feel like we don't necessarily have in the United States. We're not like, oh, we hope you have a wonderful time in the United States. Nobody here thinks like that.
No, it's like,
But
have a great time in Miami.
Yeah.
Beach, maybe.
Yeah, I know.
like that. See,
Exactly.
but it's like made you feel warm and welcomed. I think that's the key. That's what mine was this week too. So I stayed at a hotel that called the Colony in Palm Beach,
Mhm.
and the server remembered me from my previous stay there 6 months before and used my name. And I was like,
remembered it? Wow, that's amazing.
so I don't know what kind of impact I left. Hopefully it wasn't a bad one on her, but she remembered my name. And it just, when you travel alone, I do it every once in a while. I can get lonely. And so when you're at a place and they welcome you and they use your name and, oh, how are you doing? And want to chat with you, it makes everything so much nicer. So that is mine this week.
I love that. I love it. I mean, it's simple. It's so simple. It comes at, by the way, that is what my TED Talk was about. It's like the simple ways of like how you make someone feel special. It really is like so simple. It's not about like the big flashy things, but it's like, it's about connection. And we are so connection deprived. So, but we in the hospitality industry, we are the connection industry. So, anyway, more on that later.
I love that. That's what it is. True. It makes all the difference in the world when you really do that. And just take a moment to talk to somebody and ask them how their day is going and actually listen.
Yeah.
And Christopher, where he's answering, no haunted message. Yes, that was for next week. We put the wrong title on, Christopher. We got some haunted stories for sure next week.
I can't
Promise
wait.
you. I even have some personal ones. So
Oh my gosh. And
share.
maybe I'll wear a costume in honor of, no, I'm not. Nobody is wearing a costume. I say maybe in honor of Halloween. That's a no. Maybe I'll wear my old uniform. I have an old uniform. I can dress up as a
put my name tag on. I still have some name tags laying around
Oh,
here.
I've got name tags around here. I got name tags. I have
Our
concierge
haunted
key.
bell.
Oh, a haunted bell. I just have a regular bell. Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. There we go. Ding, ding.
Mine's
All
from the
right.
Hollywood Tower Hotel.
Oh, that's not a real hotel.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, no, it's not. All right. Wait, are you able to include this hospitality quote? Or is that
No,
way too
but I will read it,
Okay,
and it will say, "Strange to see how a good dinner and feasting reconciles everybody." That is from Samuel Pepys. Is that how you say his last name?
Sure. I added it as a comment.
I'll look into it on the fly here.
I
for that.
love this because it's that simple reminder of like that's how hospitality brings people together, whether it's through dinner, whether it's through something, like that, like bringing people. That's why they talk about breaking bread with someone. Changes
When I
everything.
see this, I'm picturing like Vikings sitting down at a table, and this is what they're saying: like we just got the battle, let's go. We must
Turkey
feast and have dinner, and we will reconcile our differences.
I think about turkey legs and like big like chalices full
Yes.
of like wine.
Ah.
Yeah, what's it? What are you drinking? Oh my god.
Collagen with olive oil and coffee.
Yeah, I already had my mushrooms. So yeah, guys, this was good. This was good.
Listen, good. I missed
missed-
this part of my week. This was a good recharge to hang out with all of you, especially Sarah. Man, a month.
A month. It's what
Too many
the-
things going on, but I'm glad we're back
No.
in action.
Yes.
A little rusty, maybe. A little overtime, sure. But next week, we're back.
Life isn't perfect. It's in the imperfections that we find beauty. I'm just going to stop talking.
And we'll see you
That's our
next
show.
week.